Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we get a good look at a Nike Basketball Classic. These are actually 20 years old this year, originally released in 1995. At the time, this was the premier guard shoe. Back then, they had Flight and they had Force. They also had Up-Tempo. Up-Tempo models normally catered towards larger players, but they also had some Up-Tempos that were for guards. But then Force was strictly like a big man shoe, and then the Flights were for guards. And in 1995, one of the biggest point guards was Jason Kidd. That dude rocked the hell out of these, killed it. It's actually amazing to think that this shoe was the premier performance model in 1995, only because of the way that like premier performance models are today, which are just completely different than this. The tooling alone, I mean, look at this midsole. That's one chunky ass midsole. This is straight 90s right here. Now for everybody wondering where the heck these are available, right now it's only at Foot Locker. I do not know if they're going to get a wider release. On the box they are labeled as SE, which means special edition usually. However, just check your local Foot Lockers. If you go to footlocker.com's launch locator, these are listed in there, and then you can type in your zip code and it'll find the nearest available Foot Locker that actually carries these. There will be more colorways, of course, because Nike wouldn't be Nike if they didn't bastardize one of their classics. But if you're only into OG colorways, you might want to scoop these guys up while you can. Will there be a performance review? I'm not really sure. I haven't made up my mind yet. Every time I put them on, my mind says, don't do it, dude. But when I look at them, the memory bank says, just try it. So we'll see. You never know. But let's go ahead and get up close and personal with them, talk about some tech specs, and pretty much take care of it. Alright guys, so here they are, up close and personal. Again, it's funny to think that this was like the premier shoe for guards. Just look at this. This doesn't look like a guard shoe. Your foot actually sits like halfway in here. So these little bony pod things are kind of like the Reebok Question, which I believe came after this model. But it basically keeps you locked in the shoe from shifting side to side. This was support back in the day. But yeah, when I see this, I just kind of laugh a little bit, being like, man, I can't believe like we would actually play in this stuff. I didn't have this particular pair back in 95, but I had something just as bulky as this. The materials on these guys are actually okay. You got a nubuck up here. It's not like a crazy nice nubuck or anything, but it gets the job done. Nice mesh tongue here. You got that 90s flare on the laces. This right here was big. If you didn't have laces that were like dotted like this that came with your shoes, you bought laces with dots like this to match your shoes. So like these laces here, people will put in like the playoff 12s to match the shoe. The Penny 2 was another one where if you found a pair with blue dots in them, you'd put those in the shoe. Just, you know, a little something extra. It's kind of like how nowadays you match your socks with your kicks. Back then you matched your laces with your kicks. Then you have a little bit of leather right here, just a tiny bit, just enough to where Nike was like, yeah, I guess we'll make it okay leather. So they put some decent leather on there. Not anything to write home about, but it's definitely better than those Up-Tempos that I got a while back. Now some people I've heard complaining already about this little faux carbon fiber that you see all over the shoe. It's on the bottom and the shank. It's in the pods, and then it's all over this this little graphic print here. That's an original feature. No reason to complain. This shoe never featured carbon fiber, and it never will. This is an original colorway, and the originals look like this too. It had that fake kind of carbon fiber or checkerboard look, and that's just kind of what it was. The traction looks awesome. This is what makes me feel like playing them, because I'm like, man, I just want to see how this works. But all this big booty in the back, I don't know if I'd be able to run with these things on, but at least you'd be able to stop. Now as far as tech specs are concerned, besides this traction pattern and the materials and little support pieces that are built in, cushion wise is where it's at. In the forefoot you actually have a full-length zoom unit. You can kind of feel it, but right now the midsole is a little stiff, so I'm pretty sure that you'd be better off if you broke them in a little bit. And then in the heel you have an air unit, and that you can actually feel right away, so it feels really nice in the back. Today's standard, it would be either a really nice foam, or it would be zoom in, you know, the heel and forefoot, or it would be zoom only in the forefoot and nothing in the heel. Back then though, they always put like actual air units in the shoes, so whether it was a guard shoe or not, there was an air bubble in there, and these just happen to have zoom air additionally. Little signature detailing with the Flight right there. This was my favorite thing back in the day. I just loved having the Flight just on the shoe. Most of the time it would be on the tongue and everything like that, but the pull tab is pretty badass, you gotta admit. Got that stitched on swoosh, air on the bubble, swoosh on the toe, and that's pretty much it. If you guys are looking for these now, like I said earlier, they're available at select Foot Lockers, so just kind of keep an eye out, and keep your fingers crossed. If you want a pair, I'll keep them crossed for you too, because these are a badass pair of shoes, and if you want a pair, good luck to you. I went true to size. Some people say go up half a size, so this is one of those sneakers where you might want to try them on, because I feel like they fit me perfectly. But let me know what you guys think about these things down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time guys, have a good one.